Over to you, VJ, because many of us say we're fighting the same fight again and again and again. There was a conversation yesterday, will this fight ever end?
Will this fight ever end? Well, first, Asad, thanks for forcing me to come to Glasgow. When I walk the streets of cities like this, Glasgow was the UK's second most important city. Beautiful buildings, beautiful streets, a gorgeous city. It had Red Clydeside in 1919, the uprising to create a Soviet in Scotland. But it was, crushed, of course. When I see cities like this, I think also about the other side of it. There's a phrase from Walter Benjamin: every monument of civilization is also a monument of barbarism. I think of the famines in Bengal, the jute workers in Bengal sending jute to Dundee through the Glasgow port. I think of human beings from Africa enslaved and brought from Ghana to the New World, and all those prophets getting sucked into cities like London and Glasgow. Between 1765 and 1938, the British Isles stole $45 trillion pounds from India, 45 trillion sterling from India. We never got paid for that. When the British left India, when we threw the British out, our literacy rate was 13%. So much for several hundred years of so-called civilization. Meanwhile, our landscapes were destroyed. Coal was foisted on India. You foisted coal on us. You were the ones that came and made us coal dependent. And then you left, and now you dare to condescend to us. When I listen to Boris Johnson, when I listen to people like Joe Biden, when I listen even more to Emmanuel Macron, all I can think of is how condescending you are. You condescended to us 400 years ago. You condescended to us 300 years ago. You condescended to us 200 years ago. You condescended to us 100 years ago. You're condescending to us today. You only know condescension because for you, colonialism isn't something that happened in the past and we defeated you. It's not that. For you, colonialism is a permanent condition. And that permanent condition happens in two ways. There's the permanent condition of the colonial mentality. You want to lecture us. You want to tell us that we are responsible for all the problems because you'll never accept that you're the one principally to blame. You signed the Rio Formula in 1992 on common and differentiated responsibilities. You like the common part. You like the common part. You like to say we're all in this together and so on. We're not in this together. The United States, 4-5% of the world's population, still uses 25% of the world's resources. You outsource production to China, and then you say China is the carbon polluter. China's producing your buckets. China's producing your nuts and bolts. China's producing your phones. Try to produce it in your own countries and see your carbon emissions rise. You love lecturing us because you have a colonial mentality. Then there are colonial structures and institutions. You lend us money, and every time you lend us money, which is our money, every time the International Monetary Fund comes to our societies and they tell us, here's the money we are giving you. No, it's our money. You give us our money back as debt, and then you lecture us about how we should live. It's extraordinary.
Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Salutations to the hopefully elect out there pushing this word in truth, sincerity, and indeed. Your brother Chapat Tazah from the great millstone Chicago branch, coming at you with another quick, Lord willing, edifying lesson. As you can see, this Elamite, all right, Elam, which is the biblical identity of the so-called East Indians, those that, make up India, parts of Pakistan, this, that, and the third, around that area, all right? They are known as the biblical Elamites, all right? And this guy's name is VJ. I don't know his last name, all right? But as you can see, he's at this this COP26 coalition event, and he's just straight up rebuking Esau, man, all right? The Lord put it on this man's spirit to really rebuke Esau, to bring up his practices and his barbaric history, all right? And this is just all out rebuke, and there's just straight silence because everything he's saying is true. All right. And when you look at the landscape of things, the spirit of the world, people are tired of these damn Edomites. All right. The world has grown weary and tired of these Edomites, man. Okay. And their hypocrisy. And everything he was saying was true, man. You know, they try to make everyone else out to be the problem when the problem is Esau, Edom. All right. And the Lord is really pouring out that spirit of rebuke on not only the men of the Lord, but also the heathen nations. All right. These brown, melanated heathen nations, they're going to begin more and more to rise up. All right. You already got Ishmael, all right, out there in the Middle East, the so-called Arabs. Hey, they don't hesitate to tell Esau about itself. But now you got Elam standing up. All right. You have leaders in the continent of Africa. All right. Hell, they rebuke Esau, especially out there in that South Africa, man. They let Esau have it, man. And they basically tell him, hey, man, to hell with you, you know. And this spirit is going to continue to propagate throughout the earth, man, because the entire earth is tired of these goddamn devils, man. All right. And their wicked ass practices. OK, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 16. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink you also and let thy foreskin be uncovered. Right. So the Lord is exposing this devil. He's making his secret parts be uncovered. You know, like the scripture saying, Obadiah, how art the secret things of Esau searched out? OK, because the Lord is shining the light on this devil's wickedness. OK, continuing on, it says, the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. All right. And this is part of the shameful spewing. This devil, they glory in owning these institutions. They glory in all in the societies that they have built, in the infrastructure and the way. The whole way of life. They glory in this. You know, they say, oh, you know, we civilized this brown people. We civilized this brown nation. We civilized this brown continent. When really, man, you're the goddamn heathens. All right. You're the ones that are uncivilized. You're the barbaric beasts. All right. And this Elamite, man, he's letting them have it, you know. And what he named 3 Edomites, Boris Johnson, I believe he's the prime minister out there in England. Joe Biden, the president of the United States, Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Freaky Deaky Joe. All right. And then Emmanuel Macron, I believe he's the prime minister of France. I could be wrong. All right. But nonetheless, he named these 3 Edomites because what? They're the face of the franchises. And they come in to try to you know, point the finger and say what needs to be done and, you know, what they're doing wrong in these other nations, you know, and that's all bullshit. Like he said, you're the problem. All right. The Idumean is the cancer of the earth. All right. Not these brown nations. All right. But hey, the Lord is rebuking, man. Hold on one second. But yeah, the Lord is rebuking, man. All right. And it's a beautiful thing. Okay, and like, hey, man, these nations are fed up. That's why it says in the book of Obadiah, and it reads, this is the book of Obadiah. I'll start at verse 2. Matter of fact, I'll start at 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith Yahweh power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent. And an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. It says, verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. See, so the Lord made you the minority all over the world. All right. And he's made you greatly despised. So all these heathens, they're despising Esau, Edom, man. All right. It's not just a so-called, quote unquote, black and white thing. All right. All these brown nations are sick and tired of this goddamn devil. All right. And his skullduggery and his unrighteous ways, man. OK, and they're going to start to air it out. And that's the first step. Once you begin to air things out, once you begin to verbalize the problem, and then that verbal is then going to turn physical. OK, that's why the Lord said, hey, these nations are going to hate the whore. All right, I'm going to get that and close it out. And it just goes to show, man, that matter of fact, before I get that, though, I'm going to get that Proverbs, because it goes to show 17 and 16. It just goes to show that the wicked are in authority. Because this guy, hey, he's sighing and crying. He's sick of this shit, right? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And that's what this guy is doing. You know, he's mourning. Why, man? Because shit, hey, there's plenty of clean energy to go around. But what's happening, man? This devil, he's forcing coal on India. He's forcing coal on these other nations, which coal, you know, it pollutes the air you breathe. You know, when they process it and have to use it for energy, because that's what these big companies are behind. It's not clean energy. All right. Burning up coal is not clean energy. OK, it creates pollution and it kills people essentially over time. You know, when hell, shit, you can produce energy from the sun. You can produce energy from water. You could produce energy from wind, clean resources. But no, this devil, he can't do right. He can't do anything right, man. And that's why the people are mourning right now. But real soon, the Lord is going to send one that is profitable to rule the earth, pursuing back to the book of Sirach, the 10th chapter. All right. That's why these Elamites are rising up, man. They tired of that damn devil. And eventually all these nations are going to rise up and they just going to smoke this bitch. All right. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 17 and verse 16. Matter of fact, I'll start at 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And who is that talking about? It's talking about America. All right. America is that whore is America. All right. That whore that rides the beast. And what? She's sitting upon peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues. America has military bases set up all over the world. OK, and they've established strongholds in these people's backyards, man, and they basically dictate what goes on. All right. It says, verse 16, and the 10 horns which you saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Right. So eventually NATO, all right, NATO, the European Union, they're going to hate this whore. OK, they're eventually going to join sides with Russia and China in them. OK, verse going on. It says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And how they going to do that? With the nukes. The Lord is going to put the spirit on these nations to shoot those nukes off and burn America the fuck up, man. All right. Shit. Verse 17, for the Most High has put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High be fulfilled. So the Lord, man, he's got it in these nations to just be in league with him. All right. NATO and the EU, they're going to be in league with this America. OK. Until it's go time, until they're finally fed up with this bitch. And when the Lord finally puts it on them to shoot those arrows. OK, continue. I'm just finishing it off at 18. And the woman which you saw is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Again, proving that that's America. OK, and hey, these heathens are fed up. All right. And just look for them to get more and more verbal. OK, and look for shit, eventually great violence. As it is written, thus with great violence shall Babylon be thrown down. But with that, I hope this was edifying. All praises, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, Shalom, and Abba Ball.